$70. The price tag on my clearance dress peeks out from beneath my arm as I tug at the zipper in the church bathroom mirror. I push it back inside, smoothing the polyester fabric that wrinkles too easily in this June humidity. The fluorescent lights do me no favors, highlighting every worry line around my eyes, every strand of auburn hair escaping my practical twist. "Mom?" Caleb's voice carries through the heavy wooden door. "Are you okay in there?" "Just a minute, honey." I dab at a microscopic smudge of mascara, then straighten my shoulders. The woman in the mirror looks presentable. It will have to do. Outside, Caleb waits by the drinking fountain, all 9 years of him trying to look grown-up in his only suit. The hem of his pants hovers a good inch above his ankles now. When did he get so tall? He's been growing like a weed since Easter, and my budget won't stretch to replace it until back-to-school sales. A cluster of wedding guests sweeps past us in a cloud of designer perfume. Their Gucci bags and Jimmy Choo heels probably cost more than my monthly rent. The ladies twitter behind manicured hands, stealing glances at my clearance rack dress, at Caleb's too-short suit. "Your tie is crooked." I kneel down, adjusting the clip-on bow tie that came with the suit. "There, very handsome." He squirms but lets me fuss. "Will Uncle Jason be happy to see us?" The question stings more than it should. I remember Jason at 14, gangly and heartbroken after Dad left. Remember cooking boxed mac and cheese while Mom worked late, helping him with algebra homework, scraping together money for his senior prom tux. The way he used to hug me tight and say, "You're the best sister ever, Allie." Those hugs grew shorter after he met Brooke. The calls came less frequently. Now it's mostly texts on holidays, the occasional LinkedIn update about his latest promotion. Of course he will. I smooth Caleb's cowlick one last time. He's just been busy with wedding planning. The invitation arrived last week. Thick cream paper with gold embossing. Most guests received theirs months ago. I overheard Mom telling her bridge club. The phone call came right after. "Allison." Mom's voice had that particular edge she saves for me. "Do try to dress appropriately this time. None of those discount store specials. This is the country club, not a PTA meeting." My fingers curl into fists at the memory. I force them to relax as another wave of designer-clad guests flows past. A woman in a hat that could double as a satellite dish raises her lorgnette, examining us like specimens in a jar. Caleb's small hand slips into mine. Sometimes I think he sees too much, understands too well for a 9-year-old. "We could still go home," he whispers. "Watch Star Wars instead." For a moment I'm tempted. But I picture Jason waiting at the altar, remember his voice breaking when he called to say Brooke had said yes. Whatever distance has grown between us, he's still my little brother. "We're staying." I squeeze his hand. Family shows up. The rehearsal dinner last night made it clear where we stand in the new pecking order. Brooke's air kiss barely grazed my cheek, her smile never reaching her eyes. Jason's distracted half-hug as he worked the room, always moving toward more important guests. Mom introducing her country club friends with detailed genealogies while gesturing vaguely in my direction. "Oh, and this is my daughter." Now Caleb and I make our way into the grand ballroom. Crystal chandeliers throw rainbow prisms across marble floors. Flower arrangements taller than my sun tower over tables draped in silk. A string quartet plays something classical that probably isn't meant to sound quite so mournful. Our assigned table hugs the kitchen doors, far from the wedding party's elevated platform. The tablecloth has a small stain that someone tried to bleach out. I recognize the other guest's dad's second cousin twice removed. Jason's old roommate who never quite made partner, Brooke's former nanny. The misfit toys of the family tree. Caleb climbs into his chair, his feet dangling above the floor. He studies the elaborate place setting with intense concentration. Which fork is for salad again? Outside in. I demonstrate with my own silverware, grateful for that long-ago waitressing job that taught me the basics of formal dining. One more survival skill cobbled together over the years. The microphone squeals as Jason takes the stage. His custom tuxedo probably cost more than my car. His eyes scan the crowd as he begins his speech, skipping over our corner like a stone across water. Friends, family, everyone who matters. Beside him, Brooke takes her champagne flute, her practiced smile gleaming bright as her diamond. But I catch something else in her expression as she watches my brother, something calculating. Cold. My stomach clenches. I've seen that look before, in the mirror of a courthouse bathroom 13 years ago, right before the judge granted Dad's divorce and he walked away without a backward glance. The microphone crackles again. Brooke steps forward, and I know with sudden certainty that this wedding is about to become a battlefield. Some wars begin with a whisper, not a bang. Brooke taps her crystal flute with a silver spoon, the delicate ring cutting through the clinking of silverware. Her smile sparkles like the diamond on her finger as she surveys the room. The string quartet falls silent. When I first met Jason, I couldn't believe someone so accomplished had such an interesting family history. Her laugh tinkles across the reception hall. A few guests chuckle politely. I mean, just look at all the challenges they've overcome. My fork pauses halfway to my mouth. The salmon turns to sawdust on my tongue. Take his brave little sister, for instance. Brooke's gaze finds me at the back table, her smile sharp as a paper cut. Raising a child all alone. It must be so hard for you, Allison. The word hard drips with sugary venom. Whispers ripple through the crowd. A woman in Versace pearls covers her mouth, eyes bright with scandal. But that's what I love about Jason. Brooke's voice carries clear to the kitchen doors. He never let his background hold him back. My cheeks burn. The crystal chandeliers multiply in my vision, fracturing into 1,000 points of light. I blink hard, focusing on my bread plate, the tiny smear of butter, anything but the hundreds of eyes I can feel boring into me. Speaking of holding back, Mom's voice carries from her table near the stage, pitched to Carrie. The champagne slurs her words just enough to make them dangerous. Sometimes damaged goods should stay on the clearance rack where they belong. The microphone catches her stage whisper perfectly. She's like a returned item with a damaged tag. Laughter rolls through the reception hall in waves. Not the polite titters from before, real laughter, sharp and cutting. My fingers clench around my purse strap, the leather creaking. I glance at Jason on the stage. His smile looks frozen, uncomfortable, but he says nothing. Just sips his champagne and stares somewhere over my head. The exit sign glows red and welcoming behind the dessert table. 20 steps and I could be out in the cool evening air. Away from the laughter, the stares, the memories of 1,000 other moments just like this one. But leaving means letting them win. Means teaching Caleb that bullies get their way if they're rich enough, mean enough, persistent enough. Means watching the last threads of my relationship with Jason unravel completely. Mom? Caleb's small voice draws my attention down. His brow furrows as he studies my face. Why are they laughing at you? The question hits like a punch to the solar plexus. I've spent 9 years shielding him from moments like this, crafting careful explanations for why we shop at thrift stores while his classmates wear designer labels, why we take the bus when other moms drive SUVs, why Daddy's name is blank on his birth certificate. It's just grown-up jokes, honey. The lie tastes bitter. Nothing important. But I see the understanding dawning in his eyes. He's always been too perceptive, my boy. Always watching, always processing, always seeing straight through the comfortable fictions adults weave. His chair scrapes back before I can stop him. Caleb, wait. He squares his shoulders in his too-short suit jacket. The determined set of his jaw mirrors my own expression in moments of crisis. Without a word, he walks toward the stage, each step measured and deliberate. The crowd's chatter dims as they notice him. Brooke's champagne glass freezes halfway to her lips. Even the string quartet seems to hold its breath. Jason blinks down at his nephew, surprise breaking through his plastic smile. He gestures to the DJ, who lowers the microphone stand to Caleb's height. My heart pounds against my ribs as Caleb takes the microphone. I want to rush forward, sweep him back to our safe corner by the kitchen. But something in his stance roots me to my chair. My little boy looks so small up there, the spotlight catching gold highlights in his hair, but his voice, when it comes, rings clear and steady as a bell. Caleb's small fingers wrap around the microphone stand, adjusting it with the careful precision he uses for his Lego constructions. The metal gleams under crystal chandeliers as he stretches to his full height. A hush falls over the reception hall. Through my blurred vision, his suit jacket pulls tight across his shoulders, those precious inches of ankle showing beneath his pants cuffs. "Hello, I'm Caleb, Allison's son." His voice rings clear as Sunday church bells through the sound system. Several guests shift in their seats, champagne flutes pausing halfway to lips. My heart hammers against my ribs. What is he doing? "I want to tell you something I heard before the wedding." Simple words, innocent tone. But Brooke's smile freezes mid-sip, her fingers whitening around her crystal glass. My mother half rises from her seat near the head table, bracelets jangling. She catches the eye of the DJ, making frantic cutting motions across her throat. But Jason steps closer to the stage, head tilted. The same expression he wore during our childhood science experiments, when something unexpected started bubbling in the test tube. I was looking for the bathroom. Caleb's voice stays steady, the way it does when he's reading aloud in class. The ladies' room door was open a little bit. I heard the bride talking to her friends. Brooke sets down her glass with a sharp clink. "Such an active imagination children have," she trills, but the pitch of her voice climbs too high, like a violin string about to snap. She said, "I don't really love Jason." Caleb's words drop into the silence like stones into still water. "But he's stable and won't question my late nights." The ripples spread. A fork clatters against bone china. Someone inhales sharply. My fingers press against my lips, holding back. What? A cry? A laugh? The truth I've suspected since I first met Brooke spilling out through my son's unflinching honesty. Then she laughed. Caleb's brow furrows. She told them once they were married, she'd make sure to keep embarrassing people like my mom away. She said we weren't the right sort of family. The crystal chandeliers spin light across faces, frozen in various stages of shock. Brooke launches to her feet, her designer dress rustling like angry whispers. "This is ridiculous. Jason, surely you're not going to let a child disrupt our wedding with silly stories." "They're not stories." The new voice cuts through the tension. Monica pushes back her chair at the misfit table near the kitchen, her sensible shoes solid against marble floors. I remember her from Jason's college days, always speaking uncomfortable truths with unflinching calm. I heard every word, waiting to use the restroom. Just as Caleb said. Jason turns to Brooke, his face impossible to read. "Did you say those things?" "Of course not." But her laugh shatters like the champagne glass slipping from her fingers. "Well, maybe I was just nervous. Every bride gets cold feet. You can't possibly." "Did you say those things?" Each word falls separate and heavy. The mask cracks. Contempt twists Brooke's features into something ugly and familiar. I've seen that look before, in old photographs of our father right before he left. The same entitled disdain. The same calculation. "Well, what did you expect?" Her voice rises, bouncing off marble floors and crystal chandeliers. "This isn't the life I signed up for. Your embarrassing sister with her clearance rack clothes. Your mother's desperate social climbing. This whole..." She waves a manicured hand at the gathered guests. "Sample sale family." Caleb climbs down from the stage, his small leather shoes clicking against polished floors. He walks straight to me, slipping his warm hand into mine. "I'm sorry if I wasn't supposed to tell," he whispers. "But lies hurt more than truth. That's what you always say." A sound like wind through leaves rustles through the reception hall. It takes me a moment to recognize it as applause, starting at Monica's table, spreading like sunlight breaking through clouds. Tears blur my vision, but these aren't the familiar tears of humiliation. My son's hand anchors me as the truth he spoke ripples outward, washing away years of careful pretense. My brother stands alone at the center of it all, his custom tuxedo suddenly looking like a costume he's borrowed. The afternoon light streaming through stained glass windows catches his face, and for a moment I see the 14-year-old boy who used to share his dreams with me over boxes of mac and cheese. "I don't think that's what love is supposed to be," Caleb says softly, but in the strange hush his words carry. "Love is like when Mom works extra hours to buy my science kit, then stays up late helping with experiments even though she's tired. Or when she saves the last cookie for me, even though cookies are her favorite. The simple wisdom of children." My free hand finds the small heart locket Caleb gave me last Christmas, bought with months of saved allowance. The metal warms under my fingers as the chandeliers spin light across tears now flowing freely down my cheeks. My son has done what I never could. He's spoken truth to power with the pure clarity of a child's heart, and in doing so, he's given me back my voice. The room holds its breath, suspended between what was and what will be. Through the chaos of Brooke's rising shrieks and my mother's stammered excuses, I feel something long buried unfurling in my chest. Pride. Not the brittle kind that comes from keeping up appearances, but the deep, true pride of watching my son stand tall in his too-short suit, choosing right over easy. The truth, once unleashed, cannot be caged again. And sometimes love speaks loudest through the smallest voices. The crystal flute slips from Brooke's manicured fingers, shattering against the marble floor. "How dare you?" Her voice carries across the reception hall, fixing Caleb in her glare. This child has ruined everything. My son's small hand tightens in mine. I squeeze back, anchoring us both as chaos erupts around the head table. "Sweetie, there must be some misunderstanding." Brooke's mother flutters forward, patting her daughter's arm. Perhaps the boy overheard something out of context. Context? Monica stands from her table near the kitchen doors, straight and sure in her discount store dress that matches mine. "I heard every word, clear as day. You were in the bridal suite, complaining about Jason's boring stability while planning your Thursday nights with Thomas." The name strikes like summer lightning. Thomas, Brooke's tennis instructor, the one she spent hours texting during family dinners. Brooke's perfect mask cracks. "You have no right." Her voice rises, shrill against the crystal chandeliers. "This was supposed to be my special day, my perfect wedding." "Your perfect lie, you mean." The words slip out before I can stop them, quiet but carrying in the sudden hush. Guests begin rising from their seats, murmuring excuses. The string quartet packs their instruments with studied concentration. 100 designer heels click across marble as the crowd thins, leaving gaps like missing teeth in the carefully planned seating chart. "Wait!" Brooke's voice cracks with desperation. She turns to Jason, who stands frozen beside the wedding cake. "Baby, they're jealous. That's all this is. Your pathetic sister and her bastard son, trying to ruin what we have because they can't stand seeing real success." The old familiar heat rises in my cheeks. The urge to shrink, to apologize, to make myself smaller burns in my throat. But Caleb's hand remains steady in mine, his 9-year-old fingers stronger than any anger. "Jason." Brooke's voice softens to a whimper. "Are you really choosing them over me? After everything I've done for you? The connections I've given you? The lifestyle you've gained?" My brother stares at his hand, at the gold band gleaming in the chandelier light. His fingers work it slowly past his knuckle, revealing the pale strip of skin beneath. The ring lands on the cake table with a soft ping. "I've been such an idiot." His voice carries the same raw edge I remember from when Dad left, when he'd curl up in my bed and ask why he wasn't enough. I thought if I could just be what you wanted, if I could fit into your world." "Jason, please." Brooke reaches for him with trembling fingers. "We can fix this. We can keep the undesirables away after the wedding. Start fresh, just us and the right kind of people." The right kind of people. Jason turns toward our table for the first time in hours. His eyes meet mine, really seeing me. The sister who packed his lunches, who helped him with algebra, who believed in him when everyone else walked away. I had the right kind of people all along, I just forgot how to see them. The truth of 1,000 small betrayals hangs between us. Every unreturned call, every canceled dinner, every time he looked through me instead of at me. I'm sorry. His voice cracks. I should have seen it. Should have stood up for you both. The words I've waited years to hear land like stones in still water. Part of me wants to hurl them back, to make him feel every moment of invisibility, every cutting remark he let slide. But Caleb's hand grounds me in the present, in who I want him to see me be. Sometimes, I straighten my shoulders, lifting my chin. Sometimes family means showing up even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when the people who should protect you look the other way. A choked sound draws my attention. Mom stands at the edge of the dance floor, her carefully sprayed hair falling loose around her face. Allison. She takes a halting step forward. I don't know how to fix this. You can't. The words come out gentle but firm. You can't fix years of looking away with one moment of seeing. That's not how healing works. I gather my purse, checking that Caleb's tie is straight. We're going home now. Not because we're ashamed or because we don't belong, but because we deserve better than having to prove our worth to people who never wanted to see it. Please. Mom's voice shakes. Don't go. Let them leave with dignity. Jason's quiet words stop her. It's the least we can give them now. The marble floor echoes under our shoes as we walk toward the exit. Head high. Shoulders back. The same way I walked into my first job interview. The same way I walked out of the courthouse after filing for full custody. The same way I've walked through every moment that tried to break me. Behind us, Brooke's voice rises in one final screech. This is all your fault. You and your trash family ruined everything. I don't turn around. Don't give her the satisfaction of seeing me flinch. The evening air wraps around us like a blessing as we step outside, the stars beginning to peek through the sunset. Mom? Caleb's voice is small but steady. Are you okay? I kneel down, straightening his clip-on tie one last time. I'm better than okay, honey. I'm proud. Of both of us. The parking lot gravel crunches behind us. Jason's voice breathless. Allie, wait. I stand slowly, keeping Caleb's hand in mine. Why? In the gathering dark, my little brother looks lost. Looking for the big sister who always knew how to make things better. But some things can't be fixed with mac and cheese and algebra answers anymore. Because, he swallows hard. Because I need to learn how to show up too. Please don't leave like this. Jason's voice cuts through the darkness of the parking lot. His footsteps scrape against asphalt as he hurries to catch up with us. I tighten my grip on Caleb's hand, but keep walking. The click of my clearance rack heels marks a steady rhythm toward our car. A rhythm that says we're done here. Done with the pretense, done with the shame. Allison, wait. Closer now. The desperation in his voice pulls at something old and familiar, the part of me that still remembers holding him while he cried after Dad left. The part that wants to fix everything, to make it better. But Caleb's small hand in mine anchors me to now. To what we deserve. I turn around. We're leaving because we deserve better. The words come out steady, certain. Because I won't teach my son that family means letting people hurt you. Jason stops short. The parking lot lights cast harsh shadows across his face, aging him somehow. For the first time tonight, he really looks at me. Not through me or past me. At me. I know. His shoulders slump. God, I know. He gestures toward a wooden bench near the venue's garden. Just talk to me, please? Caleb tugs my hand. We can listen, Mom. The faint strains of music drift from the reception hall, some golden oldie about love and forever. I almost laugh at the irony. Instead, I let Caleb lead us to the bench. We sit in silence for a moment. Jason loosens his bow tie, the perfectly pressed tuxedo suddenly looking more like a costume than formal wear. I've been such an idiot. He runs his hands through his hair, destroying the careful styling. When did I stop seeing you, Allie? Probably around the time Brooks Country Club membership became more important than Sunday dinners. The words slip out before I can soften them. I deserved that. You did. I smoothed my dress over my knees. Do you know what hurt most? Watching you become someone I didn't recognize. Someone who'd sit there smiling while his fiancé mocked his sister, his nephew. Caleb leans against my shoulder. Grown-ups make things so complicated. A choked sound escapes Jason, something between a laugh and a sob. Yeah, buddy, we really do. I thought. He stares at his hands, at the pale band where his engagement ring sat until an hour ago. I thought I needed to be someone else to be worth seeing. Her world seemed so perfect, you know? All polished and proper. No clearance rack clothes, or overdue bills, or messy divorces in the family history. So you let her reshape you. The old hurt rises in my throat. Let her tell you what parts of your life were acceptable enough to keep. I was scared. His voice drops low. Everyone at the firm came from money. Had the right connections, the right background. Brooke made me feel like I could belong there. Like I could finally be enough. The music changes inside. Something slower, sadder. A serving cart rattles past the kitchen door, the sound carrying across the parking lot. You were always enough. I touched the small heart locket Caleb gave me last Christmas. That little boy who helped me make mac and cheese when Mom worked late. Who saved his allowance to buy her flowers when she was sad. He was enough. Jason's breath catches. I forgot that somewhere along the way. You forgot a lot of things. But the anger has drained from my voice, leaving only truth. Including that real family shows up. Not just for the pretty moments and matching outfits. For all of it. Caleb straightened suddenly. Like when Tommy's dad left and you made his mom dinner for 2 weeks. Or when Miss Peterson broke her hip and we walked her dog every day. Yeah, buddy. Jason's voice roughens. Exactly like that. He turns to me. I want to fix this, Allie. I don't know how, but I want to try. It won't be quick. I meet his gaze. And it won't be easy. We'd need real boundaries this time. Real respect. I know. He stands, tugging his jacket straight. Maybe we could start now? Caleb hops up. How? Well, Jason looks toward the reception hall, where clusters of guests still mill about in their designer clothes. There's a perfectly good party in there. Paid for and everything. Seems a shame to waste it on lies when we could use it to celebrate something real. I raise an eyebrow. Like what? Like family. He offers his hand. The messy, imperfect, clearance rack kind, the kind that shows up. We walk back into the half-empty reception hall together. Brooke is gone, but Mom sits alone at a corner table, looking lost among the crystal centerpieces and silk tablecloths. The remaining guests watch with curious eyes as Jason steps up to the microphone. Their whispers fade as he clears his throat. The wedding is canceled. His voice carries clear and strong. But you're welcome to stay and celebrate family instead. The real kind. The kind that tells hard truths and does the work to heal. Mom's heel catches on her chair as she stands. Tears track through her careful makeup as she crosses to us. I don't know how to fix what I've done. None of us do. I straighten my shoulders, but we can learn, together, if you're willing to try. Jason wraps an arm around Caleb's shoulders. No more pretending. No more measuring worth by bank accounts or social circles. No more clearance rack jokes, Caleb asks innocently. A laugh bubbles up from somewhere deep inside me, real and raw and healing. No more jokes, baby, just truth. The DJ starts another song, something from the 80s about second chances. Around us, the fancy flower arrangements and crystal glasses still sparkle, but they've lost their power to make me feel small. So, Jason squeezes my shoulder. Where do we start? We start here. I take Mom's trembling hand in my left, Caleb's sturdy grip in my right. With who we are, not who anyone else wants us to be. The night air drifts in through open French doors, carrying the scent of summer roses. Somewhere in the garden, crickets begin their evening song. And here, among the remnants of a wedding that wasn't meant to be, something real takes root instead. A second chance, a new beginning, a family finding its way home to truth. The scent of charcoal and grilling hamburgers drifts through my backyard. Jason flips another patty while Caleb arranges potato salad and coleslaw on the weathered picnic table. My son's tongue pokes out in concentration as he adjusts each bowl just so, making sure the serving spoons all point the same direction. You're getting pretty good at this, buddy. Jason ruffles Caleb's hair. My brother's tie is nowhere in sight, his collar unbuttoned, sleeves rolled to his elbows. Your mom's perfectionist streak is rubbing off. Caleb beams at the comparison. Mom says presentation matters, even for casual stuff. He straightens a slightly crooked paper plate. Like how you dress nice for job interviews, even if it's just at McDonald's. A year ago, that casual reference to our financial reality would have made Jason flinch, change the subject. Now he just nods. Smart lady, your mom. Wish I'd listened to her more back then. The kitchen timer chimes. I pull a sheet of cornbread from the oven, inhaling the buttery aroma. Through the window, I watch my son and brother working together, their movements easy and natural. No tension in Jason's shoulders. No worry lines around Caleb's eyes. The screen door creaks. Mom steps onto the back porch carrying a ceramic dish that steams in the June heat. I brought my green bean casserole, the one with the fresh mushrooms, not canned soup. You didn't have to cook, Mom. But I accept the dish, noting the bits of browned onion on top. Evidence of actual time spent in the kitchen rather than a grocery store dash. I wanted to. She adjusts her cotton blouse, Walmart, not Neiman Marcus. Besides, it's your favorite. The words catch in my throat. After 36 years, she remembers. I turn away, pretending to fuss with the paper napkins until I can trust my voice. Thanks, Mom. The yard fills gradually with the steady hum of conversation. No crystal champagne flutes or designer labels. Just paper plates, plastic cups, and genuine laughter. Jason's old college roommate Tom brought his kids, who chase fireflies with Caleb. My friend Susan from work shares her secret barbecue sauce recipe with Mom. Time to eat, Jason calls, and everyone gravitates toward the food. No assigned seating, no pecking order. People settle naturally into chairs and on blankets spread across the grass. I sink into an ancient lawn chair, balancing my plate on my knees. The metal frame creaks, another item on my someday replacement list. But tonight, its familiar groans like home. Speech, Tom calls out, raising his red plastic cup. Come on, Jason, you always give good ones. Jason stands, his beer bottle catching the sunset. A year ago today, I was about to make the biggest mistake of my life. He pauses, looking around the yard. I had everything backward then. Thought success meant impressing people who didn't really care about me. Thought family was something you performed instead of lived. His eyes find mine. But I had a sister who never gave up on me, even when I forgot what mattered. And I had a nephew brave enough to tell the truth when all us adults were too scared to see it. Caleb ducks his head, but I catch his proud smile. My son, who saw through the facade of that wedding day and chose truth over comfort. Who taught me that sometimes love means standing up instead of standing back. To Allie, Jason continues, who showed me what real dignity looks like. And to Caleb, the wisest kid I know. To Allie and Caleb. The chorus rises from our mismatched gathering of friends and family. Real ones, who show up with casseroles and hand-me-down children's clothes, who remember birthdays without Facebook reminders. Later, as fireflies dance and citronella candles flicker, Caleb sprawls on a blanket beside me. Hey, Mom, whatever happened to Brooke? Did she find someone else? The adults exchange glances. Jason answers carefully. Last I heard, she was dating some CEO in Cincinnati. He shrugs. But you know what? I learned something important from that whole mess. Relationships built on looking good instead of being good never last. I squeeze Caleb's shoulder. And sometimes being kind doesn't mean letting people treat you badly. He nods, wisdom beyond his 10 years in his eyes. Like how you don't let Tommy copy my math homework even though he gets mad, because real friends don't ask you to do wrong things. A burst of laughter draws my attention to the porch, where Mom is teaching Tom's youngest daughter to snap green beans. The little girl's clumsy fingers fumble, but Mom just smiles and demonstrates again. No judgment, no impatience. Movement catches my eye, my reflection in the kitchen window. The woman I see looks peaceful, no tight smile or hunched shoulders. Just me, in my favorite sundress from the consignment shop, completely at ease in my own skin. Caleb's head droops against my arm, heavy with the satisfied exhaustion of a summer evening. I brush his hair back, remembering all the nights I worried about raising him alone. But looking around this yard, at the family we've rebuilt, the truth we've reclaimed, I know he'll grow up understanding what real love looks like. Not the shiny version tied up in designer bows, not the careful performance of perfection, but this: burnt hamburgers and honest conversations, forgiveness that comes with changed behavior, and the courage to be exactly who you are. The stars emerge one by one above our little gathering. Jason starts gathering paper plates, Mom wraps leftover cornbread, and Susan's kids help Caleb catch one last firefly. No crystal chandeliers or string quartets needed. Just the quiet magic of a family finding its way back to what matters.